I want you to take a second to look around the room that you're in right now. You're probably wondering, what am I looking at? It's a room like any other. Well, before somebody started building that room, ideally, they made a lot of selections. They picked what was going to go in. Stop for a second and think about the breakdown of what's in that room. There's ceiling paint, there's wall paint, there's doors, there's door casing, baseboard, flooring, trim paint, and that's your basic room. The door handles, some other things. You can get as detailed as the switches, the light fixtures. You can go through all of that. But somebody picked that beforehand, and we're going to build a selection sheet for your basement project. Now, why do you need a selection sheet? There's a couple of reasons. One, the more organized you are prior to starting the project, the less stressful it's going to be. Now, notice I didn't say it's going to be stress-free. You're going to spend thousands of dollars, put tons of man hours into something you may or may not have done before. There's going to be some stress attached to it, but in the end, you're going to come out with something you've built, that you've built the skills and you've learned how to do, and it's going to be something that you can be proud of as an effort and an achievement. Even if it doesn't look professional, you built it. And if somebody doesn't like it, they can go stick it. Now, that's the first reason. The second reason is once you get the specs of the things that you want, you're going to get a better idea of how much things cost, and you're going to have a more accurate budget. Okay? That helps you along the process. How much money am I going to need? How much planning do I have to do? You're going to get an idea of, say, looking at your flooring. You go to the store, you decide, I want this flooring. Well, what if it's on back order? It's 6 weeks away. It's 8 weeks away. You want to make sure you order that in the proper time for your project because you don't want it to arrive too early, because one thing you want to think about with your basement is there isn't a lot of space to store everything. If you're working on it, you can't put a whole bunch of things in it without damaging it. So you kind of got to manage that. The other thing is if you order it and then it's even longer to get than you thought, or you didn't ask, now your project's delayed and you don't have that finished space. So you want to be organized in the beginning. I know we've talked about all this planning, and yes, we're going to get to me showing you building stuff, but this is a really important phase that gets missed. So for you and potentially your life partner who are trying to do this, you want to limit that stress because it's not easy to work with your spouse. So the next step is you want to go back and look at your floor plan, right? We did a video on floor plans. You don't have one. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we could use the floor plan for my basement. Now, my basement's relatively simple. It's an easy breakdown. I want to make a list of all the rooms that I have. So I have a rec room, I have an office, I have a storage room, a bathroom, a laundry room, a utility room, and then we'll just count the hallway going down the stairs as another room. So now that we've broken that down, we're going to make a list of the subtasks or items within those rooms. Now you're going to have certain things that are general, that are the same in every room. And then you have things that are specific. Say your bathroom has a toilet and a sink and a faucet. Your living room or rec room or office does not. So each room is going to have similar things in specific things. So we're going to break those down. Now you're going to look around and you're going to say, what are the general things that are going to be the same? Your ceiling paint's going to be the same. Your trim paint, your trim, which is your door casing, your window casing, your baseboard, those are going to be the same in every room. Your floor, more often than not, will be, except in the case of your bathroom or your laundry room, if you want to do something different. We recommend using the luxury vinyl plank, which is waterproof and can kind of go everywhere. Saves on time, saves on budget, because tile work is expensive. Now, once we've got those things, you can get into your door handles, your flooring, and all that. And that's your general one. Your bathroom's going to have different stuff. You're going to have a toilet, a vanity, faucet, shower head. Are you doing a shower? Are you doing a tub? Are you doing a shower kit? What's going in there? You want to pick all of those things. You also have, your toilet paper holder and all that. This can be as detailed as you want it to be for as accurate as you want to be for your costing and your planning, right? This is all to you. Now, in the purpose of this exercise, let's swap out my storage room for a kitchen. So now, say you're having a basement apartment, you're an in-law suite, or you're an old Italian couple who just likes having a second kitchen in your house, which is not that uncommon where I live in Guelph. You're going to have cabinets, door hardware, countertop, appliances, backsplash maybe, all these things, kitchen sink, kitchen faucet. You want to pick all of those things. So you have a very detailed list to go through. How is this going to help? You're going to write down, you're going to have a column here that says, let me figure out specifications, unit costs, and notes is what I've kind of put in here. The specs are going to be, your paint color. Let's say I used agreeable gray from Sherwin-Williams. I would put that in there. It's a satin or it's no, they don't do eggshell. They do matte. You're going to want to put that in, whatever you're using. Now, the reason I want to put that in and keep track of my paint color is I have little kids. They're going to damage the walls. And if I want to repaint the room or touch any of that up, I'll know which one it's there and I can go buy that same paint and just redo it. You say you lose the paint can. There's old school ways of doing it. You keep the remnants just in case so you have it. Or you can digitally make a file and say, this is where it is, and it just lives there. You don't have to worry about losing it. You don't have to worry about buying anything. It's there. So I'm going to look at wall paint. I'm going to put down the color. Then I'm going to put down the cost per can, which I think is like $62. And then I'm going to put notes. Now, for paint, I'm not going to have notes, but for things like maybe my doors or my flooring or my toilet or my vanity, if there's a lead time or if I'm looking for a sale or if I'm waiting for something to be cheaper, which is smart and can save you money, this list really helps me because now I've picked everything. Flyer comes out or I get an email or I'm walking through the store and go, hey, 2 weeks ago when I made my list, that was 20% more. Well, if I buy it now, I can store it and have save 20% on it, right? Over the course of a project that adds up. Hardware stores have sales, like the big box stores will have sales, and so will paint stores, flooring stores. If you can get in there and save yourself some money, great. One of the reasons I itemized a hallway is the flooring in a hallway on your stairs, on your carpet, is what you're going to want to use. Laminate flooring, click flooring, vinyl plank flooring that isn't glued down isn't the best. Also, they don't have nosings yet. So you're going to have to figure out what you're going to put on that, or you could paint it or whatever you want to do. Just itemize it. Have a better plan. So I hope this helps a little bit to clarify. We want to be more organized leading in and limit the stress of the project. You don't want to get to the point where you're painting and going, what paint do we use? If you have that picked ahead of time, the weekend you're leading up to paint, you're coming home from work, you go, I need this many. Here's what your spreadsheet helps with as well is you match your floor plan. It's going to help you make your budget finalize and know the quantities, right? Because so many of these are square foot or linear foot. In the specifications, in the unit cost, it'll tell you how much is in a box or in a can or how much square footage it covers. You can break that down so you know how much flooring to buy. You have a 480 square foot room to buy flooring for it. Now you look for the sale, you're coming home from work, it's there, bang, you pick it up. So it really helps along the way. We will get into making a global quote for your basement. And this is some of the early steps. So having the specs, having the cost, having some notes allows you later on to say, well, I have 600 square feet of floor. There's 80 square feet in the box. I need 10% waste. And then you calculate that to figure out how much flooring you need. And then you order it or you buy it or you wait for a sale or whatever you want to do. Being organized really helps in the long run. It is a tedious, unfun part. It is not as sexy as busting out the tools and just ripping out a wall and going all silverback. But you won't regret putting in the time planning. Because even for this project, even if it isn't as useful for this project and you feel like, oh, it couldn't have gone better, it will help you on future projects. You own a house. The price of real estate is ridiculous. You're probably going to do more DIY. A basement is a great testing ground for you to really get your feet wet in doing something and not have to worry about damaging structure or any of that. So I hope this kind of helped. I've kind of been MIA for a while on these, and I'm sorry, but things have changed. I don't run a business anymore. I have a job. Everything's great. I'm super happy with it. But there were a lot of changes, and I wasn't able to do this. And it's kind of weird because I actually missed doing these, and I'm going to do more going forward. I'm going to build a recording booth downstairs, so we're going to go through that process. I'll show you the ins and outs of using probably your most basic tool, which is a circular saw. But there are some things you want to know that amateurs or people who aren't used to using it every day could use to make their life easier, especially if you're going to frame the walls in wood studs. Using a chop saw is just way more time consuming and more space. If you have a small basement, you're going to be setting the chop saw up where outside. You don't have a lot of space to work. A circular saw is going to allow you to drop the wood in, cut it all downstairs, keep it clean, frame it up. It's the best way to go. So we'll be doing some of that. I have decided I'm going to use the headphones and the microphone. It's kind of like my safety blanket. I'm pretty sure none of you are watching this for my looks. If you are, one, thank you. And two, let me know, and I'll think about starting an OnlyFans page just for you. How's that sound? So I want to sign off here by saying thank you for watching. I'm going to try to do more of these in a semi-regular basis. I make no promises. And good luck on your project.